Hello and welcome to another Modeling on the Fly video with 3ds Max, where we continue working on the AT-AT Walker-like vehicle that kind of resembles the things that they had in the Lucasfilm trademark picture Empire Strikes Back. It looks kind of like that. Of course, it is a little different. Specs are just a little different. And joining me again this evening is my good friend, Mr. Leonard Helmrast, who you might know from the 3D Buzz forums as Q and Beer. How you doing?
Pretty good, eh?
Yeah. He's here to add some Canadian spice once again. I swear that's the coolest nickname ever. We should just call you Canadian Spice.
Yeah, it's more Q the beer.
Q the beer, that's right. Yeah. Q the beer. All right. Well, last time we left off, I was putting together this funny little extrusion of shapes and things in here on the lower portion of the head, and I was actually kind of embarrassed at how long it took to put this together. It still needs some cleanup. So I'm just going to dive right in and start cleaning that up while Q and Beer keeps you all entertained with various stories about how much fun it is to live in Canada, eh?
So are you going to clean it up with toothpaste since that's a toothbrush?
That's right.
Okay.
It does kind of look like a toothbrush, doesn't it?
Not from this side, though.
Oh, well, no, not from this side.
This side it looks a little flat.
Yeah, here, it's kind of got that toothbrush thing. But, I mean, you have toothbrushes in Canada?
No, we use our finger.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Okay.
That's more like what I was expecting. Really.
Yeah. It saves on money.
Well, yeah, I imagine it does. So let's see here. Canada, isn't that one like the 47th state? I can't remember.
No, I thought we were the 63rd state.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. I can't help it. As much as it would completely destroy the family style rating, I keep wanting to launch into the Team America theme song. In Canada, which you can't even say that Canada is, like in the movie they did, what, 3,000 miles from America every time. You can't, because it's like, it's 0 miles from America.
0 miles. Yeah, we share the road.
Yeah.
Yep. Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to drive that road every day.
Oh man,
it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't drive it anymore though.
No, because you see, if I drive on the normal side of the road, I'm on the American side.
Right.
But if I drive on the other side going the other way, I'm on the Canadian side. So if I don't want to go on the wrong side of the road, I got to stay off that road. Otherwise, I'm driving in America if I'm heading to the east.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know there was a road that hit the border like that.
Yeah, it's right on the border.
Oh, my goodness. That shows how much I know.
So if I got to stay in the Canadian side, that means I'm in the wrong lane. And you got these cars coming at you, eh?
I guess so.
It gets a little dangerous.
I guess so.
Yeah. So we break the law all the time, drive on the American side, eh?
I guess you'd have to.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was a road that did that.
Yeah, border road.
That's how ignorant I am.
Yeah. Got to watch for the border patrol, eh?
Oh, and they take pot shots at you?
Yeah, slingshots.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
From an airplane.
From an airplane.
Yeah.
Wow. No, those must be some good shots.
It hurts.
Cruising over in a Cessna.
Yeah. Walnuts.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I just want to remind everybody that he's the one cracking these jokes, okay?
I was just opening them up, not cracking them.
I understand.
Yeah. Crack the walnuts,
I'm with you. Wow. The hits just keep on coming. They don't let up. All right. Well, what I'm going to start doing is creating some of the little detail panels here to just kind of scoot around. These got anchored up here, which as long as they're kind of tucked away behind this thing, the geometry is not really so much of a problem. I think I'm just going to go with it for now. So
go with the flow.
Just go with the flow. Go with the lack of topological flow. Let's see. Now, if I grab all three... Oh, wrong one. I need this face hidden that's kind of down here. Slide this up a little bit so we do have just a little bit of a visible gap. Hit Z so I can frame up a little. And, oh wow, look at that angle snapping.
That was cool.
Fantastic. That helps. And just trying to make sure there's a little bit of a gap there. And what sort of horrific thing did I just do over here? I'll bet it was pretty nasty, whatever it was.
I think it's scary. I see up inside there somehow, eh?
Pretty bad, yeah. So let's try and see if we can just target weld that over here. Oh, that's better. A little bit. Can we planarize those real quick? You think that would help? Probably.
I hope so. And did you turn off all your magic weird stuff?
Yeah, all my edge constraints and whatnot, those are
Okay.
fortunately off, so we're not going to get bit by those right now, probably later, at least once before the video's over.
5-10 minutes from now.
Yeah, sooner or later,
Okay.
it's going to happen.
I want to see that again. That's fun.
There's just no way to get away from it. That's just what I do. Okay, well, let's see. Really, all we require on this plate is just a little bit of detailing, and it can more or less be done.
And a side of French fries.
And a side of French fries. That's right. Exactly. See, Leonard and I had this deal when we started up. He would have to keep me entertained, and if he didn't keep me entertained, then I'd go ahead and just end the video and go on back to what I was doing. So he's going to keep cracking what I can only refer to as these Canadian jokes.
Are they even classified as a joke?
Oh, yeah, probably not.
Oh, okay.
Probably not.
I just wanted to clarify.
This is Canadian humor. Everybody's heard of British humor. Did you know Canadians had humor too?
Well, no.
No.
We got humor?
What's so funny about that?
Yeah. I'm always deadpan, eh?
You are always deadpan.
Deadpan. Yeah, it's better to cook the fish in, eh?
Oh, God. Oh, man, that hurt. That cracking sound you just heard was my soul hurting just a little bit from that one. Okay.
But I know how to cook fish real well, eh?
You do, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah,
Now you got me saying it.
I got papers to prove it, too, eh?
Papers to prove. Yeah, you are a cook.
Full chef, yeah.
Full chef.
Full chef.
I can't even call you a cook. That's like insulting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how bad is this surface looking? Does it need to? I don't want to planarize it because it's supposed to have a little bit of curvature to it, which means I got to start pulling and pushing vertices by hand, which is always fun. That's like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, it's amazing watching you reach right into that screen, grab it, and pull it out like that, eh?
I know.
I'm really getting bad for that now. It's all your fault.
Yeah. Actually, the last thing that I modeled in 3ds Max to any degree of completion was or at least for video's sake anyway, was the Viper from Battlestar Galactica, or at least a ship that looked a lot like one.
Yeah.
So I keep picturing that flying by trying to shoot this thing down.
I think the best model I ever made was a peanut butter sandwich.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and chamfer this edge now. And, yeah, so we'll pull this down. What in the heck does that even mean? The best model I ever made? Did you actually model a peanut butter sandwich?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, 3D characters have to eat too, you know, eh?
Yeah, I imagine they do, now that you mention
And
it.
they get hungry.
So do your 3D characters often talk to you and tell you that they're hungry?
Yes.
Yeah?
They certainly do.
Okay,
Yeah.
well that's good. That's really good. I'm gonna I'm happy that you're happy. Good. As long
Okay.
as you remain happy, then I think that'll be good for my safety and for the rest of the video.
But this white jacket you got on me is kind of chafing, eh?
Yeah. Don't worry, it's for your own good.
Okay.
I promise.
Yeah, I just was unsure when you were saying it was to keep me from hurting myself.
Well, that's just kind of a roundabout term that it's kind of like so the video will go more smoothly. That's
okay.
what it's for.
That makes sense to me now.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, let's see here. I'm just gonna chamfer this. That's way too much chamfering. That's a little over the top. So let's pull this down because I'm just trying to make that a little bit less of a razor sharp edge all the way around there. I think we can click OK there. Let's go ahead and turn off our edges and. Overall, I think that's getting the job done.
Yeah, it looks very wearing.
So I think that'll work. Now, let's see. Let's jump back over to our photo. We got a little funny squared indentation over here. Of course, that's just an extrusion, so I'm not worried about that. This, if you really got right down on the surface of the model, I think what you'd find is that the modeler who made this for the movie got some sort of a tool, and they just kind of carved this in.
That's right. Scraped it out.
Yeah, which I'm not going to do that because that's more trouble than it's worth for me. What I need is just some sort of a differentiation. Now, I suppose I could. I mean, what I was thinking was I could just take the faces and make like a little duplicate, so it'd be like a raised panel as opposed to a groove, and it would give a very similar effect. But I suppose if I absolutely had to do a groove like that, if that was what was called for, then we could probably do it with a quick inset, and let's just click apply, and then we'll make a much lower level inset and click OK. And now we can just grab the little framing faces right around here. And then if we just extrude these inward, then I guess we'll have the same result, or something very, very close to it. Now, if we wanted to be all hardcore about the detail, now I do want to remind people, this is still planning on being a game model, but this is not the actual in-game model. This is what we're going to use, what we're planning on using eventually to make a normal map, so we can make this as detailed as we want to. We can sit here and make all kinds of little chamfers and have all kinds of fun with it if we like. And since this is an easy one,
that's pretty.
all right, so now let's get out of here. And
It's almost like you know what you're doing.
No. Let's not give anybody that idea.
Okay.
Now that's
Zach doesn't know what he's doing.
that's more like what I'm used to hearing.
There we go. Well, I just had to practice and get it right, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Actually, I really don't, because I put all this effort into this, and that upper edge there wasn't really all that well lined up. So I'm gonna see how far back I can step, but it may be easier to just delete the thing and rebuild it, because it's not like it took long to put together.
You bringing out the rubber eraser? Just erase it off the screen?
Yeah, I erase it right there off the LCD.
Okay.
No problem at all.
Good,
so,
good.
this is why there is not an overabundance of 3D studios out where Leonard lives.
Yeah, well, I'd just take some nice body filler right on the screen there, and that would fix that right nicely.
Probably would. There's some Bondo.
Yep.
All right.
Good sander.
Here's what I'm going to do. We're just going to nuke that so it's gone.
Why does it look black there? What'd you do?
Because it's missing. We actually nuked the face. We blew a hole. We fixed it with dynamite.
Oh, okay. I understand dynamite.
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, now back to less harmful topics. All right, let's grab you, and we'll do a quick bridge. And again, a bridge. And one more time, a bridge. So just basically, that was the great big mighty reset button.
Cool.
And a fairly fast one at that. So we want all this to be essentially level. So here's what I'm going to do to make that happen. Or here's what I think I'm going to do anyway. Let's grab this. Let's grab edges, and I want, let's see here. Let's go all the way around to there, and I don't know if it's going to let me do this, but in fact, I don't even know if what I'm about to do is even a good idea, but I'm going to try it anyway.
I wouldn't let you do it.
Yeah, do you know what I'm going to do?
No.
Yeah, well, actually, no, I changed my mind. Let's just try it the old-fashioned way.
See, told you I wouldn't let you do it.
Man, you and Jamie both.
Yeah, well,
And
I'm in
Jamie
good
and-
company then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's all right. What nobody realizes is that she's actually sitting just off camera. So she was great. I was really glad to have her in the last video, and I hope that she will be in another video very soon. I gotta speak up, make sure she hears me. Please make sure nobody rats me out.
And I was biting my tongue to say something there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, it was awesome having Jamie on the video. It was really fantastic. I'm not gonna invite her back, guys. I'm sure you guys can all keep my secret. Don't tell her. She's never coming back. Okay, so let's see here. Back to this. Let's go you and you and you. And we're going to try this one more time. So a quick inset. And this time, I think we're going to make the inset a little bit smaller. See, do you see like the severe angle that has?
Yeah.
Mine doesn't have that angle.
No, it doesn't.
No. I need to fix that before I do anything.
You lost the rakishness.
The rakishness.
Yes.
Is that a technical term?
That's a very technical term.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, well then here's what we're going to put the rakishness back in. So that looks pretty good. Let's get this away from that corner though. So we'll slide this back. We'll slide this back a little bit to make up for it. This could probably go back even further.
There you go.
Now that's starting to look like something I recognize. Now also, according to this, the plate goes up a little bit higher, but I'm looking over here and it looks like it pretty much lines up with that change in direction right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to go with that and assume that nobody would notice or care, which you can do a lot on heavily greebled models. It's fantastic. Alright, now let's try this again. It already looks better to me, just seeing that. Okay, we'll apply. Now, this will be just a much tinier chamfer than the last one. So, 0.05, is that? It may even be too little. Let's try 0.1, not go any further than that. Actually, you know what? Hang on. No, the chamfers are going to help too. So we'll just inset to 0.05 and click OK. Now, of course, selecting my faces from here is going to be more fun than it was before. Hello.
You broke it.
I did break it and didn't want me to select those. Okay, so let's try cheating. Let's do a grow selection and then deselect these guys. Yay, I cheated. Look at me cheat. Alright, so now we do that little extrusion. It doesn't have to even go in that far. So pull that down ever so slightly. Click OK. Now, fantastic. Go back to edges. Now, I'm probably not so lucky that I can loop that, can I?
We got part of it.
No, but what I can do for at least part of this is to grab these guys and then control click on the edges and then deselect these guys. And that'll give me the first batch. And the second batch I'll have to get by hand, but that's okay too. It happens. Yeah, they're really close to each other.
So you're just wanting the top edges and not worried about the inside edges?
No.
Or would the insides ones matter?
The insides don't matter. They're too small.
Couldn't you just grab select each across each one and to grab
Actually, the loop got it.
them? Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I probably could, but I'm afraid. Well, you mean like a quick marquee selection?
Exactly.
Yeah,
yes.
but I don't want to. I don't want to actually chamfer the ones way down inside that crevice.
That was why I asked you whether the deep ones were any matter.
Oh, well, see, because they don't matter, I don't want to chamfer them. The other thing too is by grabbing like those, if I chamfered more than just a little bit, they start to cross over each other.
Okay, they start going squirrely.
That's the excuse I'm going to use anyway.
Works for me.
That's how I'm going to avoid the question.
There was a question?
Huh? I don't know.
I was just making statements.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
you must have been speaking Canadian. I don't speak Canadian. I'm sorry. All right. Cool. Let's get out of here. Turn this off. F4. Rotate the camera. Okay. Now see that I'll buy into. A little bit of a normaling issue. You can see the funny coloration on the faces there.
mm-hmm.
So I'm probably really quickly fix that.
And you turned the weird stuff off? See, I got to remind you every time you got weird stuff.
It's off. The weird stuff's off. Yes, you're my babysitter for all that. A highly coveted position, too.
Yeah.
A lot of people would like to be my babysitter for that. Especially Frankie. Okay, well, we won't go any further than that. Let's see. Oh, we've got face up here. We need to extrude in. And this, you know, if it's close, I'll call that close enough. So let's see here. We could probably get away with just pushing that as it is, or we could try expanding it a little bit. I don't want to make something that's so painfully obvious that it starts to disrupt the shape that we've created here.
Right. And it's just a little grill thing, eh?
It's just a little grill thing, so it's not like it really requires a whole bunch of effort on anybody's part. Nope. So I think it'll be a little bit off from what's over there. I wonder what the image plane says. I'm curious. Image plane says
it's
right back
way
there.
off
I don't
there.
even care what the image plane says. Let's just shade that right back up.
What's the other model look like?
We're just going to pretend like we didn't even look at that. Great big square.
See, that looks right there with what you're selecting. The image plane looks wacky.
Yeah, and we'll see. What I've got is close. Actually, what I would need to line up is something a little bit bigger, but I think I can just go with it and not worry about it. So let's just do it the simple way.
Is it perfect square?
Yeah, it's rectangular. I mean...
See, that's a perfect square.
You think so?
Yeah.
Now, is the outer edge a perfect square, or is the inner edge the perfect square?
Ooh.
Best get your ruler out and double check. Best not step to me without your A game. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'll try not to scratch the screen.
All right. Okay, well, here's what I'm going to do to compensate, which is pretty much how I live my entire life.
You're trying to compensate or compass. I can't even say that word.
Yeah. That word doesn't exist in the Canadian language.
I guess not. I can't say it.
So let's see here. Let's extrude. We're going to pull this inward. Look at that.
Ooh.
That's good.
That's pretty.
That's good to know that that's there.
That means you got something else in behind there, and now you're going through 2 layers.
That's exactly what that means, which means we need to make that go away.
Yeah, you're going to have something really cool happening.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, let's see here. If I hit F4, do I just have some faces I can nuke to make that go away? It looks like I do. Alright, let's get back out to here. U, F4. And let's try to see how little I can get away with deleting. Maybe I can just delete this face and kind of expand the hole a little bit, so I don't have to like completely terrorize the entire shape. And for this one, let's turn on our little problem setting.
Okay.
Because, I mean, as much hassle as it does give me when I forget that it's on, it is very useful.
Can you turn the lights on? It's a little dark back here.
Actually, I could, but that's because of how 3ds Max handles the lighting. See, this is the backside of the polygons.
Exactly.
So it doesn't like
it's a little dark.
Yeah. And there's settings.
I'm lost and scared.
Okay, how's that?
I feel better now.
You feel better?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I don't like the dark.
Yeah, well.
You never know what'll jump out of the shadows, you know?
No, you really don't. And you're still scaring me, by the way. I mean, just FYI.
Ah, okay. I'll take the mask off.
Okay, yeah. Only covers the lower part of your face. The funny little grill over your mouth is kind of scary. Which is only completed because they winched him in here on a dolly to sit in on the video. So, anyway.
You still haven't loosened the straps.
See, now look at the good behavior I just exhibited. I'm not commenting on that one. All right, so let's see. Edge constraints, we'll slide this up. Turn off edge constraints. Let's take the whole face now, and we're going to push it all just a little bit deeper and pull it down, just kind of arrange some things. Yeah, now, something I'm sure I can't really get away with without really... Yeah, I'd like to be able to pull this down and make the whole thing a little longer, but I don't think I can, and I don't think it matters enough. In fact, it's probably a little bit too deep, so we'll leave it just like that.
I would say it was too deep. It was a very shallow grill.
And, okay, scale it in just so it doesn't get, just kind of soften up the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right, so really now we just need some lines that kind of go across there, and they don't go from complete top to bottom.
Nope.
So, and there's a couple of ways you could do it. You could actually carve them in if you wanted to. I say you just make them out of separate objects and call it even, and they're so small. We could probably just make them out of boxes, and we could turn on auto grid, so we could just draw them right on the surface, sort of. It's a start anyway. We just kind of want them to be parallel to the shape. Alright, and again, trying to rotate an orthographic viewport is probably unwise. And let's see, we need to... we gotta zoom in. There we go. That's more like what I'm looking for. So that's right there on the surface, which is good, or it's close enough anyway. Now, it goes all the way down, or at least really close to being all the way down up here, and then most of the way up over here. I'm just going to convert the whole thing to an editable poly, so I don't have to think too much about it. And let's go to vertices. Also, let's change our settings over to not local, parent. There we go. So that's going to match the orientation of the object. So we're literally just stretching the thing out now. And that's probably pretty good. We need enough duplicates to go just about from one side to the other. Could make the whole thing a little wider, probably, if we wanted to. So let's also set this over to parent. And just scale that up a little bit, because we want to be able to see it. We want to know that it's there. Now, same thing. We're going to take this, we'll scale this down a little. So it's almost like it's simulating rounding, which we could probably push a little bit further with a quick extrusion. I don't want to get too detailed with this, because of, it's just a little tiny piece, but it's snapping a little. That's okay too. And we'll scale this down. So, I mean, it just kind of makes something that's a little more rounded. And we can push that back in. Now. Come over here, and let's clear all the smoothing groups. We'll put all these guys in the same smoothing group. And now if we get out of there and press F4, And let's open up the material editor. Come on, material editor, you can do it. Go, material editor. Woot, woot, woot.
It fell asleep. There we are.
Yeah, it's just thinking. And we can drag drop that. And let's see here. Let's do one little duplicate. And let's see. Let's try
So what do you
16.
like, copies or reference?
Neither, apparently.
I guess. They went inside.
Yeah, because we're using the wrong reference coordinate system. We can just set this back over to parent so we can, again, kind of follow that contour just a little bit better. Actually, even that's not really going to do it for us that well. Oh, local will. Oh, yeah, parent for the components, local for the actual shape. I'll get it straight one of these years. All right. Now let's just try a whole bunch.
Whole bunch.
And we'll make them an instance.
Ooh.
Oh, almost got it, too. We're going to need to clean them up a little bit, though, because they're kind of going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, you got a little nasty angle.
Yeah, a little bit. But, let's see. I could do that by hand. I don't really want to, but I could. No.
Yeah.
No. Irritating.
Is there a way of snapping them all on a line underneath?
Yeah, well, I got a different idea. Come on, come on. You can undo. I know you can. I have a slightly different approach. Let's see if it'll undo far enough back. I have really slow undos because I have DirectX
Okay.
textures on. Okay, so let's see if this works instead. Wow, I went back a little further than I meant to.
Yeah.
That's okay. The material editor always comes up faster the second time.
Okay, I'm going to ask you another silly question.
Ask.
Are you able to tell that piece there that you've just selected to be 90 degrees to the line?
Sure. Well, I could...
and then when you instance it across, it would be perfect.
Yeah, I'd want to move it in the proper direction, really, because that's all it's doing is just following that. I had a different plan, though, and now I've forgotten what it was.
That was my job to make you forget.
Yeah, good. Excellent job.
Thank you.
Really good work there.
Yeah, I jumped in right on that and just got it right exact.
I was thinking about attaching them, actually, and then grabbing the bottom faces and making them all planar, because then I can make them all line up to whatever. But I can see where that could cause problems, too. So, I could play with the array tool, but I never did like the array tool.
90 degrees to the edge and you're cooking.
But it's not 90 degrees.
It isn't?
Because the whole thing's a little slanted.
That's what, yeah.
That's probably my issue, too. So, let's see.
So this line is crooked.
Let me do this. We can start fixing
This
the
edge.
problem.
Edge.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I was right there with you, like the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah. No
Just
worries.
as long as someone was there.
Yeah,
No, I
dude.
wasn't all alone.
I got your back. You're good. All right. Well, maybe it'd probably be better if I grab that whole edge. Come on. There you go. And just pull this guy in a little bit. Now, if we... There we go. I'm just going to move these just a little bit at a time individually so we're not really breaking too much. Another thing I could do, I didn't even think about this. Could make sure that this face back here is nice and planar.
Mm-hmm.
That'd probably be a good move. Here's a trick. I didn't even think about this. It's just how it works sometimes. What happens if we... Oh, you don't want to do that.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's even better. Let me go by Z. No, not really what I was looking for. That's okay. Come on.
Now, with this trick, am I supposed to guess which card you're going to draw out of the deck?
Yep.
Okay.
Did you? Do you know?
No.
See. try 24 this time.
Ooh, still crooked.
Same problem, because they're kind of popping out at you. You know what? I'm going to deal with that later. We'll get to that. Let me do this instead. Jump back over here to this guy and press F4 so I can see my edges again. Because I got a couple things here that are still kind of bothering me. One would be the razor sharp edges I have here. And I don't want to just run a chamfer because that'll do funny things at the corners. So what we're going to do instead is grab this selection. We're going to grow it once. We're going to... let's see what happens if we perform an inset. I mean, hopefully it'll do what I want it to. I mean, that's pretty close to what I wanted. That's about the same as an extrusion would have been, which is okay. And then, let's see, let's go ahead and go back to view mode, and woo, nice. Let's slide this out, and back a little bit. So we're basically making a chamfer that only comes in from the corners.
Wow.
So it doesn't appear completely razor sharp, only mostly. All right. Yeah, it's better than it was. And from a distance, that'll hold up. And that's really what we need here, is it to hold up from a distance. Now, the other guys here, because these really probably ought to be chamfered as well. They need some sort of a bevel, so they're not razor sharp. And these will create funkiness at the corners, but that's okay. That's quite all right. Let's go ahead and chamfer those just a little bit. That looks good. What we need to do, though, is clean up these corners by coming in here and doing a real quick target weld to the vertices. And did you not want to work with me there?
Well, I did, but you know.
Dink. Yeah, okay. It's exactly the opposite of what I wanted. So we need to come in here and grab this vertex and click there. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Tink, tink. And bam, bam. Last one. Okay, so let's see. What else can we do? Because we've already been kind of messing around for a little while. This piece is really starting to get cleaned up, though. It's starting to look kind of nice.
Still got a bit of a twist to it.
It's got a bit of a twist.
Yeah.
Now, you're not talking about cocktails. So
No. I wish it was, though.
the normals are still pretty messed up. Let me see if I can adjust the smoothing groups real quick and clean some of that up. Element. Now, I don't expect this to work because this is the easy route. And whenever I try the easy route, something, yeah, see, it blows up.
Ooh, it looks like a puffy pillow.
10 is going to be too low. 20 will probably get to be too high. This would be one of those kind of shapes where you really need to get in here and start doing some custom work. And using auto smooth isn't always going to be the best bet for that sort of thing. It's looking okay mostly out here, though. I think once textured up, what's going on out here would actually hold up. This stuff needs to be busted out onto its own smoothing group. So just work backwards with that one. And let's see if we can grab this one, and that can also be busted out to its own smoothing group. Could be on the same one at the far end there. Okay. And that's a little bit of an issue.
Yeah.
That's pinching usually due to how edges are coming together. So let's take a look at our geometry, and yep, that'll do it every time. That will do it, and it should be a pretty easy fix. Here are our vertices. Oh, wrong object, Zach. You want this guy. Come on. There you go. You can do it.
There.
All right. So let's see here. Let's just grab you, and let's just run up our numbers until those connect. Click OK. Let's see how bad that looks. It's getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Still a little bit extreme up here, but it's because everything is so rounded right there.
Right.
We'd have to split that apart, which we could do. Just come in here and grab, first off, grab the proper object. That looks good. But it wasn't. It only looked it. There we go. That's what I want. Alright, now let's pull these out and put them on a separate smoothing group so they're not so blended in with everybody else. And just see what that does. Alright, yeah, that kind of separates that whole shape. Okay, so I think we're to a good stopping point for now. We've done some more detailing on this piece.
Right.
And I think we're ready to move forward on something else. So that is going to wrap things up for this video. I'd like to thank all of our viewers who are watching these videos. Please feel free to send your feedback in on the forums and help each other out. Take a look at these videos and show us what you're working on. I'd also like to send a big thank you out to our member sponsors who make everything we do at 3D Buzz possible. And of course, a huge thank you to Mr. Leonard Helmrast, who is helping me out and setting me straight on this video.
Thank you.
With that, you guys have a good night, and I hope to catch you on the next Modeling on the Fly. Take it easy.